Looks like we should be live right now. Says, yeah, live 8. So now I'm trying it on regular old OG OBS. Let me check the audio. OG. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it up, see if this helps anything for today's live stream. This is not Streamlabs OBS, so I can't, like, the super chats thing, I think that won't work in this, but we'll see if this is any better. But yeah. So, yeah, my fucking head has been killing me all fucking day because it got much cooler. So for those of you in America, it went from like hot to like a cooler spring day, like in fucking 2 days. And my head's been fucking pounding. It's 70, so it was in America, it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit today. In Prague, was this July 20th. It's 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is exactly, wait, hang on. Switch this to Celsius. It's 21 degrees Celsius right now, where I am. Which is like definitely a lot cooler than it was like 2 days ago, 2-3 days ago. And this week is supposed to be much cooler. This summer really isn't that bad. This summer is pretty fucking good. This summer is really fucking good, man. Like this time last year, my dad had just left, and so this time last year, my dad just left. He went back to the U.S. after my son was born, and then, like literally the day that he left, it got like hot as fuck. And because I remember, because all my plants that I was growing outside, they just took off like crazy. It got like hot as fuck. So now I'm gonna try to check, because I'm not seeing any comments. So if anybody wrote anything, I can't see it. I'm just gonna try to log in a different way. See if I can find, because maybe it's just, okay, no, it says 5 or, yeah, I'm trying it a different way, so I might fuck up. So if you wrote something, okay, here it is. Okay, I see Nuclear Bomb. What's up, man? Because like I said, I'm doing a live stream off of regular OBS. This isn't Streamlabs OBS. I'm doing a live stream off of. So I don't know if it's gonna be like, it might be a little different. Let me listen to myself. Make sure. Stream off of regular. Yeah. So it doesn't sound bad. Audio doesn't sound too low. But we'll see if it works today, man. I don't know. We'll see if it works today. So let's try to...
Hello?
Because I didn't finish this yesterday. So let's try to finish this. Because we left off where she was 50 years old. Let's skip a little bit in there. What's up, Charlie Guns? What's up, M. Horton? What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. So we're going to see how long this lasts. Again, I'm not streaming on Streamlabs OBS. I'm streaming on regular OBS. Just to see if this makes any difference in it. What's up, J1? So we'll see how long this lasts, man. So let's go. Let's start this video to see how much I can actually cover while it streams halfway decent. Yeah, so also the other issue is there's no... I don't know if I can put a comment section up in regular OBS, and I probably really should have looked at that before I started, but oh well. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, that looks a little better. So let's do this. Throw an advertisement at the lower bottom for MGTOW men. What's up, Billy Lazar? So here we go. We're gonna try to get as much of this out the way as we can, as long as hopefully as it works. What's up, Grave Rave?
Breakers, non-communicators. It's just not gonna work if we can't communicate. I like to have a good time. I have a lot of freedom, So I would like to have someone that, I understand, children come with it. And I always believe that children are a bonus. But someone that has some freedom, that is fun, likes to travel, just kind of a fuck it, let's just do it type of person.
Okay, you want a spontaneous man? Is that
absolutely?
All right. Does he have to look a certain way?
I think healthy is probably the number one. But taller than me. I'm pretty tall. I'm 5'9", and I still wear my heels, and that could be 4 to 6. So over 6'1" is preferred. Healthy, likes to work out. I mean, we don't all have to be in the gym at the same amount of time, but I think that is definitely something we could do together as a couple.
Okay, would you date a man your height? That's 5'9", or 6 feet is a requirement?
5'10", 5'11".
1 inch lower. Okay. Does he have to make a certain amount of money?
We want to be comfortable. We want to be comfortable. We want to be able to do all that stuff that we do in our free time.
Yeah. Now I remember where we left off at. Yeah. Her situation. It's the typical. It's the typical woman's scenario. And here's the thing. It really is sad. It really is sad when women go through this, is because, again, like I said before, man, like, see, because a woman's value, the only thing a woman is really desired for initially is because of her age and her beauty, right? That's really it. And all that power is in the front end. So when she first starts dating, at 15, 16, 17, she's used to being able to pick out which area she wants to go to, and the quality of man, the quality of social status, who she wants to be seen with, be heard talking to, be seen speaking with, and she's used to having her pick, right? And then the other part is, if she's if she's attractive enough to make it out of her little city, because that's a whole adjustment part too, is a lot of women are not good enough to make it out of their high school. I still remember girls in high school, when I was in high school, fucking 20 years ago. I still look back, and I think I look back on this even now. I'm 37 now, and I look back on it. I still remember there was girls before I left high school. I would have thought were complete. I would have thought they were out of my league, amazing, great, right? Because they did good in that fucking small radius. But as soon as you get out of high school and then make it off to college, a lot of those women don't make that next cut. Now, they can still dominate in that little hometown of, Hamilton County, some shit like that. And, not even all of Hamilton County, just that little subdivision over there. She can dominate over there with her looks, right? But see, that next step, it gets harder and harder. So that's why a lot of women, women don't talk about this, but it's a reality. A lot of women stay in their hometown or their subdivision, or they stay in refined quarters, so they don't have to compete with better quality women than them. So they can beat it. So like when a woman stays in one subdivision or one apartment complex, she could be that apartment complex 9, but she goes over there to USC and she'll be a fucking 4. Right? And she knows that. So a lot of women, that's too much for them. They can't handle that. So they'd rather stay in that little apartment complex and just work at Hardee's or whatever the fuck to maintain her socials, her social status in that situation. Right? And the older they get, the harder it gets, because like there is no real good way out for a woman, because the woman mentality is just so awful. And it's fucked up to say it, but it's true. So the first example is the one I just gave, right? The second example is, okay, let's say if the woman does excel. Like, let's say if a woman's cute in, let's say, 10th grade, right? And she makes it to 11th, 12th grade still cute. And then she goes off to college and she fucks around and figures out how to wear her pants better, wear better hairstyle, better makeup, whatever, better shoes. And she fucks around and skyrockets up to like a fucking 10 in college, right? And she has all her choice in college. Well, okay, again, her only real value in that situation is her youth and beauty. So over this time period, she's dating guys and she's being able to get into places just because of simply her youth and beauty. So she gets used to that, right? And over the course, some women, they're all going to lose it at some point, but some of them will get pregnant and their bodies just never recover. Some of them will just flat out gain a ton of weight, or some of them for just apparently no real reason. Some women, they just can't eat a fucking cupcake without gaining 10 pounds. I've seen that happen. So that you're going to have a huge drop off in that population. But then in the end, let's say even if she manages to hold on to it, she's just going to end up older, because there's nothing she can do to stop father time. She's just going to end up older. And then what's she going to do? She's going to look back and see the new younger girls of what she used to be. She's going to slowly start getting more mad, more bitter. And she's going to find more perverted ways to try to appear younger and youthful, which is not bad. But if for anybody who has any decent sense and is on a level that she thinks she's on, they're not going to want her anymore. Well, perfect example. That's why she's on here. They're not going to want her. She's just gotten too old, right? So the reality of it, there is not many good ways out for women unless society, see, you ever notice throughout history, women have always excelled when they've been enslaved. You ever really look at women's history and really think about women always do the best when they're second and or enslaved. They always do much better in life overall. And that's fucked up to say it, but it's true. Woman does much better when her power has been stripped away from her for whatever reason. Whether she just got old and she needed protection, so she learned how to be submissive. Woman always excels in being submissive and powerless. That is when woman's career literally thrives, right? But yeah, let's do her I got standards, bro, again part. Because I think she says, yeah, she's going to want, if she's 50, I know what she's going to want. She's going to try to entertain some other shit, but if she's 50, she's going to want, she's 50 and she's stuck on this pretentious, trying to keep up her looks to try to look like she's 25. She's going to want, I'd say, pretty much right there. I'd say between 45 here. So she's going to want that. Let's do any color, any shade. She wants them healthy, so exclude obesity. She says 6'1". Is it clicking? It's not clicking. I'm trying to exclude obesity. Okay, here we are. And the minimum income, I remember from yesterday, because we went into six figures because she's in Texas. It was 0.14%. Yeah, something ridiculous. Right. All right. I think it was even lower than that yesterday. Let's keep it going, because I hope the video works out today. So I'm trying to go as fast as I can so it covers as much as possible. Here we go.
That freedom and that traveling, we want to be comfortable. I think that's the biggest thing is comfortable, because your income is relative, and how you spend it.
Comfortable is relative. There's some people that live comfortable on an income that's not that, which you might not feel is comfortable. So
yeah,
you want to give a round part? Would you date a man that made $80,000? Is that too low?
Well, again, that's relative. I'm in Dallas, and so based on even just what I pay as a single woman, rent-wise, that would be tough.
So that's why I'm asking you the question directly. Does he got to make a certain amount of money?
Six figures. I think it's tough. I think it's tough. Less than six.
And I want to go back, so I want to make sure I get this man together.
Mm-hmm.
Your first requirement was he has to be a believer. So is this a man that's going to church?
The same principles. We're going to be good people. We have morals. Where we treat people with respect. We do for those that don't have. Those types of things.
So church is not a requirement.
Well, I am a little way. I am looking for a new church at the moment. That's why I said no. But I do watch church. I have been a member of a large church here in Dallas for a very long time, but I'm not physically going into church right now. Yeah.
I just always ask this question at times when women bring up he has to be a Christian man.
Sure.
Is sex before marriage, is that off the table, or are you following that principle?
Not off the table.
Okay. Wait, so you could have sex before marriage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But
right.
but I don't want to lead with that. I want to lead that. I want for us to get to know each other outside of that.
I understand. Girl. Hello?
I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you again.
Okay.
So this man has to be at least 5'10", 5'11", really 6 feet. 6 figures and a Christian man. Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Oh, okay.
And I'm assuming monogamy is a requirement, right?
1,000%. Yeah, your other Geminis tonight were wilding.
I mean, you look great.
Thank you.
What is your age range?
Well, I will tell you, I think that may have to do with some of my dating is most men think I'm younger than what I am. So my past relationships, 42, even now, going out with people that are like 35. I think the age is not the most important thing. It's the goals, having the same goals long term.
So you don't have an age range?
Goals
35, 38.
Long-term goals. Bitch, you 50. Long-term. Okay, I'm not gonna say any names, but I was talking to my dad a couple of days ago, and he has this friend. He's a guy. It's a guy. He has a friend. It's the same shit, man. Okay, wait, hang on. Long-term, see, this is an issue, and I think this is an issue with people, right? Not just women, but people. At some level, you have to realize, you have to understand how old you are with how old you are and the reality of what you're going to bring somebody into your life and all that shit. But then there's a deeper part that you have to stay at least a little bit aware on with this facade of this image you're trying to fulfill versus, okay, what is your actual quality of life and what do you actually like to do, right? And with that, how do you maintain like your quality of life and happiness, whatever you like? Okay. At 50, you are too old to be talking about future goals and all that shit. Like you 25 and your next plan is to buy a house. You too old. All that's behind you now, right? Okay, at this age, at 50, at my age, at 37, I told my dad, because my dad was telling me a story about a friend of his he's like 58 and he's still doing this shit. You too old for that. You're just too old, right? You're not 30 years old hoping to buy a house with 2 kids anymore. You 20 years past that. You're too old. Right? But me at 37, I'm too old for that. Talking about future life goals and all that. Okay, my most important thing is, at 37, your boy AD's requirements now. Okay, I wouldn't leave my child's mother intentionally. I told my dad I wouldn't leave my child's mother intentionally. I don't have any, plans on doing that. But I have there's no drive in me to really want to get married and do all these fictional things in my head when our relationship is already, as far as I'm concerned, is already good, right? Because my quality of life is being upheld. I mean, we got to work around it with the baby, but my quality of life is upheld. Her quality of life is upheld. We communicate. She knows if she needs something that I'll be there, and I know I know if I need something, she'll be there. So like that's the reality of a relationship, right? So future life goals, bitch, you are 50. You ain't raising no families at 50, right? Now a man possibly, so I can see, depending on the man, it can make sense to be on that. But as a woman, you are 50. You are not raising no family at 50. You're not starting no new family at 50. Give it up. Okay, this whole thing of future goals and all this, that's nothing but a tagline she remembered since she was 25, because she figured high-earning men would like to hear shit like that. So she just automatically says shit like that out loud. She's 50. Future goal. Your future goal is to realize where you is to realize what genuinely makes you happy. Sit down and do it. Okay, but I'll go a step deeper. What genuinely, okay, she's genuinely an unhappy person, right? And she'll never at this age, at this point, I don't know her personally, but if I had to give a running guess, I would say this. As with most women, see, a woman's entire value is in hoping that her dream man will want to fuck her one day. Right? And she never grows out of it. See, men, we can just get in phase of that, but men can grow out of it. Men can just go to different countries, fuck hookers, whatever the fuck. But women, they don't do that. See, women want to be wanted. Right? And she knows the only way she can be wanted is if she essentially becomes everything she's not. She draws on her face for 3 hours, puts in fake hair, and creates a false persona of herself to sell to people in public, right? Becoming everything that she's naturally not, right? So the reason why women can never ever be happy is because in that value system, they cannot genuinely have what they're happy with to themselves, right? Like for example, okay, a woman cannot seriously get all dolled up, put on makeup, put on the fake hair, put on tight jeans so you can see her ass crack hanging out, all that. See, she can't dress up like that to just sit down in a room and eat pasta alone. That's not happy. See, a woman's not happy unless she knows she does that and she can attract somebody else with it. Right. See, on the flip side, see, a man could be happy sitting down watching a football game with a beer. A man could be happy with a PlayStation. A man could be happy making model boats, working on his car, fixing up his garage. Yeah, he could sit in that motherfucker for 3 months straight doing that. But see, women, that's not happiness for a woman. Right. Happiness for a woman is being desired by a man. Now, happiness for men can do that too, but men can genuinely find happiness in other things. Women don't. See, most women you find are not going to have genuine hobbies. Again, most women are not interesting people. They're not going to have genuine hobbies. They're not going to be genuinely interesting for, in reality. Most women are all for keeping up conversation and initiating conversation because they don't want to lead anything. They want to be chased and desired, right? So this woman, she can't be happy. Women can't be happy because their happiness lies, again, in trying to make other people happy by them just sitting there being attractive woman. Right? She can't be happy. So her future goals, what is her future goal? Okay, a 50-year-old woman who's getting kicked off of TV reality shows to find dates. Okay, what is a legitimate future goal that she would have with a spouse? Okay, what was she's going and again, to be fair, she looks good. She looks for 50, she looks great. I'll give her that any day of the week. She looks great for 50, but she's 50 and she's still getting kicked off of reality shows. Like, what's that old bitch? Was the bitch was like 40 and it said mother to be, labor of love, like that old hoe. I mean, y'all remember her? What happened to that girl on Labor of Love? Remember that old hoe? This one? She too goddamn old. She's too old. She's 40. And still getting kicked off of TV reality shows. Or she still can't make anything work with any man. She's too fucking old. There is no future life plan or goal outside of dressing up to look cute to hope some man wants to fuck her cheeks. That's her only. That is literally her only future life goal. That is what her happiness is literally. That's the only happiness that she can find. Right? Now you'll find other women who will go out there and they'll try to falsely take on a hobby such as painting or something like that because they're hoping that they'll find a man in their painting. But women, that doesn't make women happy. It doesn't make women happy. And the older they get, it's completely inactive at this point. Like, so this woman has at least a 99. Okay, based off of this, I changed some of the numbers, but even then, she has a 99.7% chance of failure of finding a man, a man that she wants. Right? She has a 99.7% chance of failure. Let's just say 0.6, not a 99.6% chance of failure, right? And that, again, that's just off of her standards up front. Now we ain't talking about if the man actually is going to like her back, or if they have good chemistry, or is the guy missing an eyeball, or anything that can make those numbers lower. Right? Is he a mama's boy or daddy's boy or whatever, anything. Is he in prison right now? Is he living half his life out the country right now? See, all these other parts do nothing but make that number go down and down and down, dude. This bitch would literally have higher chances of surviving hand sanitizer as bacteria than finding a man. You would literally be better off betting that bacteria would survive a good dousing of Lysol than finding her a man. That's fucked up. But that's the mathematical reality. You would have a better chance. You would have a better chance raising a farm of bacteria and literally feeding the bacteria Lysol and hand sanitizer. You would have a better chance doing that than finding this a man.
Would be my lowest.
What would be your highest?
We gotta have a young spirit. I think that adds to why people think I'm younger. Is I do have a younger spirit. I can be a church lady, but I also
you
listen to a
hold
lot
on.
of rap.
Listen. Look, this is another thing. Look, don't nobody care that. Okay, don't nobody care that you look younger and you got a young spirit and all that. And nobody care. Nobody cares. Right? Outside of busting a nut on her face, nobody cares. Okay, I'm just gonna be upfront and blunt. Nobody. I mean, it's okay. Just because you look younger, that's like a motherfucker, I don't know, saying that he has a Rolex watch and 5,000 miles away. What the fuck is he gonna tell? How he can't tell time off that? It's like, that's an interesting situation. Anyway, next, right? Nobody cares about that. Right. She does, because she knows that men are going after younger women. So all her chips are going into, well, they tell me I look 10, 15, 20 to 25 years younger. All her energy in her life outside of this goes into looking as young as humanly possible. Right. So in her mind, that's like the number one thing. And especially with women, that means a lot more to women than it means to men. Because men can still go out there at 50, 60, 70 and go pull 30-year-old, 20-year-old, 25, 30-year-old bitches. Men between 20 to 40. Men can still go out there and do that. But women can't.
Yeah, what is the highest age range you would go to?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's relative to their behavior.
Okay, so you'll date a man
55.
Okay, so you wouldn't date a man 60?
Maybe, yes. If he liked to have a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll go, okay.
Yeah.
Does he have to be in Dallas?
No.
Okay.
No.
I feel like you're attractive. You have it together. Do you normally date the man you described?
I think dating's been rough. Most of the men that I've gone out with here lately are younger.
Okay.
With, probably not having children yet. That's the hard part. Okay. It's not that we don't get along, not that we don't enjoy each other, but maybe the goals don't match.
Right. So then that means so what do you desire? You said you've never been married. Do you desire marriage?
1,000%.
That's gross.
So then you should only date the men that you can go down that road with, right? Or no?
Maybe when I say dating means not committed. Like I would go out and spend time with men that I enjoy.
Right.
But we, kind of have an understanding. Yeah.
Got you. So now, have you dated a man that you can marry, as in fits your age requirement, fits your money requirement, fits your height requirement?
Yes. Not several months ago. However, we kind of hit a bump in the road, and it was more about the way he dealt with the bump in the road.
And that's the guy. That's why you said make sure that someone is willing to go through the tough times.
Right. You know what? That person.
This is sad.
There were no red flags. Everything was really good. We're having a good time. Children older, free spirit, just having a lot of good times. But when you can't be big enough to own a mistake and move past it.
How long did you guys date for?
A couple months.
Was it a relationship or y'all were just dating?
No, dating.
It was a fuck buddy situation.
So have you ever been in a relationship with a person that you described?
This is gross.
Yes, but maybe lacked some commitment. I don't think I was dating intentionally for marriage more than 5 years ago. I think I tend to just enjoy the people that I'm spending time with and go with the flow. But now we're with intention.
Now you're with intention. That started at 45.
Ish. Yeah.
Okay. What are 3 flaws you think you have to work on?
Patience. We've been working on that for a long time. lack of. But
see, okay, and you also got to remember. See, this woman is the false representation of women, essentially over 30, right? She's, especially in America, she's kept her body's in somewhat good shape. She's wearing black, so I guess she's trying to hide her body wearing all black. But even with being 50, she's done a great job of keeping track of her body, even if it doesn't look as good as it looked, because she's hiding it in all black. But she's never had to face anything. And she's a misrepresentation of older women. Now, I would say, especially with American women, just because she's not fat, she is literally the unicorn of American woman. Well, she's in Texas. Between Texas to California and New York, I've never been to Miami, but these places, the women, they know they kind of have to keep it up a little better, depending on where you go, because there's more money floating around in these places. But even then, this woman has never had to face anything. And like I said earlier, there's not very many good endings to women unless they just, as long as she's winning, there's no real good ending for a woman, right? A woman cannot sit down in winning. She can't. There is no sitting down. She's always in chasing mode. When a woman wins is when she's finally been dethroned. The woman being dethroned is the win for women. That's when her life all of a sudden balances out, has some true meaning, true purpose type of shit. Once she's been dethroned and she found a man who's better than her to fucking damn near worship type of shit. That's when she's won. She's never had to do that. She's never had to. Do the math. She's fucking 50 years old. She can't even, she's getting kicked off of reality dating shows. She looks like this, and she can't even keep a relationship longer than 2 months. You see? But the thing, see, most women, majority of American women would have physically fallen off 20 years ago in her position. Now, she was one of the rare lucky ones that managed to hold on to it. Maybe if plastic surgery, I don't know. But she's, with whatever happened, she managed to hold on to it, and this is the ending result. She doesn't have to compromise. And when I say compromise, I don't mean compromise in a righteous way. I mean compromise in a sense of just becoming a decent human. Right? Because here's the thing: if she was such a decent human, if she was just a decent human and looked like that, oh, she wouldn't have a problem finding no man. Wouldn't have a problem. If she was just, but see, that is level 1 of compromise for a woman is, I have to actually become a decent human and try. And so that is level 1 to compromise. Like, we ain't got down to compromise on righteous levels yet, right? Just to be a decent human.
We're much better. Do my best not to react. I think I'm not the most. I'm not quick to trust. I'm on the fence on whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, or whether I need to be better about that or not. Because,
well, I don't know why he keeps doing that.
Right. That's my sign. Stay the way I am.
Oh yeah, stay the way you are. Yeah. End up back on this show 5 years from now.
Oh, you know what? I am a Gemini. I can be quick to cut people off. I will say that much.
Okay.
So I have to work about, not being so cut and dry. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Not saying that you have to, because I know women consider this to be settling. I don't consider it to be settling, but I was going to ask for out of curiosity. Is your height, money? I do think monogamy is a non-negotiable for most women. So, but let's start with height, money. Are those non-negotiables?
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, the money's just relative. We want to be comfortable. We want to be able to have a good time and not struggle if we, something comes up financially.
So the clear question: if he doesn't make 6 figures, is that a non-negotiable?
Yes.
No. Is it a non-negotiable?
Could you marry a man that did not make 6 figures?
No. Absolutely not.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you wouldn't marry a man that was good to you?
You know what? No. I take it back.
No. Okay.
No.
6 figures. I think it would be tough. I think it would be tough. Yeah.
So, and I'm assuming 6 figures doesn't mean 100K. Is 100K too low?
No.
Okay, so bare minimum he has to make 100K.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, and then
and here's the reality on 100K, right? She don't know how much 100K is. Most women, if there's one thing that is historically accurate, is that women do not do numbers well at all, right? At all. Right. Remember that episode, that Bear Grylls shit, where I don't know how to say his name, but where they put the men and they put the women to survive in the jungle, and that experiment literally proves my point on my entire YouTube channel. Just watch that episode where they put women together on an island and they put men together on an island and they had to survive just as men and women. Oh, the women's math was just completely atrocious. I can't remember what it was. One math scenario in that episode where the women tried to cut a deal with the men and the men knew that the women wouldn't be able to do it, but then the women just got the math like horribly wrong from the start. It was something like, we'll trade you 10 gallons of water or something like that, but the women just understood it as like 10 fish and it had nothing to do with it was something. It wasn't that, but it was some. I can't remember the mathematical situation, but the women were just absolutely awful. Women just do a horrible job at truly surviving, like, independently, outside of trying to suck dick to get by. Like, they can't survive. And that episode exactly proves my point. Let me just show you guys that episode. Wait, what was it? I don't even know how you spell this motherfucker's name. Yeah, I think it was this one. I'm not going to play it because I know that's going to fucking get copyrighted. Oh, no, because it looks like other people was playing it. But it's like 45 minutes. Hold on, let's see.
2 uninhabited Pacific islands.
So it was this shit where they left the men and the women to fucking, like, survive. And the women were just absolutely retarded. Like, when reality hits and all that feminine, and they can't hide behind buildings that men built and flushed their shit down a toilet that men made, women just completely just crumble. Like, they just crumble. and they have to force themselves to rely on their looks to suck dick to survive. Like, it's really fucking pathetic. Right? Like, it's sad. That experiment literally proves this Bear. I don't know what this shit is, but this experiment literally proves my entire YouTube channel. Like, if you want to get a pretty much a summary of all my YouTube content, just watch this episode where the men and the women had to survive outside like separately. And what it boiled down to was the women, they ran out of all their drinking water. They had no food. They couldn't build anything. The TV company had to actually feed them off camera or else they was gonna starve to death. And the men, they was out hunting alligators. They was they had food, they had shelter, they had water. And then the women eventually just crumbled down to going, oh, well, you know what? Our looks, we got to care about how we look because looking is everything. And they just devolved down to being a sex object to survive. This misogynistic shit, like, no, like this didn't just come up because men were evil, because women literally can't survive on their own without men building something beforehand. They need, and the only way, the only method that they can infiltrate is by sucking dick or hoping they can just get some scraps left over from a richer man who fucked a woman who got him to feel sorry for other women in the world. So now those other women can eat those scraps off of that plate type shit, right? That's it, dude. If you want a summary of my YouTube channel, just watch that fucking episode. And it explains everything that I've ever said. Right? You want to know why? Because I know the history of humans. That's why. That's why. And this woman right here, she's been lucky enough to hold on to it for as long as she has. And she's held on to it pretty well. Again, she looks great at 50. She looks great at 50. But there's no future. Okay. There's no future in it because she's already in the future. Right? She's in the future. There is no future. She was talking about earlier about her life goals and all that. Look, at 50, you are in your life goal. You're not looking forward to your life goal anymore. Right? At 37, I'm in my life goal. I'm not of the mindset to look forward to my life goal. At this point, at 37, how I see myself is, okay, right now I'm living my life how I want to live it. Now, if everything burns down for whatever reason, my life goal is not to go out there and do something. At this point, I'm fixing my life to get it back to how it was or possibly better. All right. I'm not looking forward to say, oh, that's my life goal and my future life goals with a partner. No, I'm living in the life goal now. Right now, okay. The only people who will be stuck in that mode are people who maybe never got to that realm yet. Right? Are people who never got to that realm yet. Because there's some people who are living at home with their parents at 35, 36. I get that. I get that shit, right? But this woman, based off of what she stated throughout this whole conversation is, okay, she's already gone out there. She's, done this, done that. She's got independent. She's had enough time to realize, what she likes to do. Okay, she's in the goal now. This is her period. She's arrived, right? Right? There was an Alan Watts speech about this where he said, where he said how students are always taught to live in tomorrow, but they're never ever taught to live in today. Right? And she's fallen into that. And most of that is because she's been able to hold on to her youth fairly well. So she hasn't really had to sit down and fully acknowledge it yet. Because, I guarantee you, because here's the thing. I guarantee you, with this lighting, she took 3 hours to make sure she looked the best that she possibly could on the webcam, right? I would guarantee you. So her face is not going to look this good in real life. It's going to show some bloating, some wrinkles. I can see a little bit like, right here. I can see it. But I guarantee you, she took at least 2 hours to get the perfect lighting down and make sure she could look the best she possibly could, right? So you have to take that into account too. So when you see her in real life, you will see she doesn't look 30. Okay. She probably looks like a great 50, but she doesn't look like, you're not going to mistake her for a 30-year-old unless you just seen her like in quick passing type. And even then you probably wouldn't mistake her for a 30-year-old, right? Right. But see, she hasn't had to acknowledge that she's aged. Like, she hasn't had to fully acknowledge it yet. So that's why this terminology of my future goals See, motherfuckers who say future goals are motherfuckers who are 20 to 30 years old, which is right. You know, that's a real reason to say something like that, because you're just starting out. She's 50. She's in the future now. She's there. She has arrived. Right?
Or you would not marry him?
Wow, gosh. I mean, like, if you're saying 98, 95, of course. It's more about the love. It's more about the intent. It's more about the way someone makes you.
It's not more about the love if it's 98, 95. You could love a man at 75K. But I'm just trying to I like to ask clarity because I think, and I also think, and sometimes I do it because I want people to hear back what they said, right? So what I do is I ask the question to get the clarity. So it's it's a direct question, but okay. And if that is your desire, and if that is what you feel for you is mandatory, that's so be it. I just want to be clear.
6 figures.
Okay. Height. Would you negotiate in height?
Sure. 5'10",
Okay, so
5'11". 5'10", 5'11".
5'10" is the lowest.
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming monogamy is non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
And then being a Christian is non-negotiable. Okay.
Non-negotiable.
All right, Leanne, baby girl. Why would a guy be lucky to be with you, sweetheart?
Well, I think loyal. I'm very, very loyal, supportive. I like to have a good time. I got your back. I think I'm that type of girl that's always going to have your back. I'm a lot of fun. People think I'm very serious, but I think that's one of my best qualities is that I don't take myself that seriously. I think I have a lot of the characteristics that I hope that my partner comes with, like ambition and likes to have a good time. I take very good care of myself. So yeah.
Okay.
I like to have a good time. I like to have a good time. I like to have a good time. I look like I'm younger. I'm loyal, which, okay, she doesn't even know the first goddamn thing about loyalty, right? So that's just a complete fucking bold-faced lie. You want to know how we can deduce that? Because she's only been in a relationship for 2 months at a time, and she doesn't even know how to spell loyal, right? Look at her fucking resume, or CV if you're out the U.S. Look at her fucking CV and resume on her dating history. What in that would give off that, oh yeah, she knows what it is to be loyal, right? Look at her resume in dating. She's getting kicked off of dating shows. She can't keep a man in real life. What the fuck does she know about being loyal? Other than she heard a few times in some R&B and some Facebook memes. And when she's drinking herself to death off of wine, scrolling through Facebook, crying herself to sleep because she can't keep no damn man. What about her resume says that she's loyal? Right? Now, I like to have a good time. Well, we can pretty much deduce that from her resume, because she sure does bounce around a lot. So we can deduce that, right? So again, let's flip it. Let's say you own a company, right? And somebody comes in with a resume. And on this resume, they job hopped every 2 months. Like every 2 months, there's a new job going all the way down, flip the page, all the way down there, flip another page, because she's 50, so it's gonna be a lot of job hopping, right? Never stayed at a job longer than a year. She was never married, right? And say you, the owner, you look at her resume, because you trying to hire somebody to come in and be there and work, right? You see her resume, and she can't keep a job longer than 2 months, right? So then you ask her, well, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your qualities. And she goes, oh, well, I like to have fun. I'm a hard worker and I'm loyal. Like loyal. Read down his resume and show me anywhere on his resume where it should tell me that you are loyal, that you even know what loyalty means in any, whether it was your fault or not. Read down his resume and explain to me how you know what the long haul is in any type of relationship. Right? See, then it makes sense. You gotta look at her fucking resume, her CV. She'll look at you and lie her fucking tits off and hope that you just stare at her tits while she's lying so you don't pay her too much attention. But she'll stare you in the goddamn face and lie her tits off. Loyalty, I like to have. Well, again, I can believe that. She likes to have a good time. She'll doll up in makeup and wigs and keep her body tight because she gonna go out there and have a good time. I'm not putting that past her one bit. She'll go out, she'll find a good time. Putting on 10 pounds of makeup, rotating wigs. She'll do that. I don't doubt that one bit. Right? So, yeah, there's no reason for a man to ever stay around longer than 2 months because that's all she's ever known. It's all she's ever done. And as soon as something ever actually comes up, she ran away because she's kept up her looks fairly well. So she's never had to actually acknowledge anything and work through anything. She's never had to, outside of keeping her body in shape and how to apply makeup better. If she spent a third of the time that she spent on makeup and hair on herself and actually growing as a human, oh, she'd be an excellent human. But she doesn't have to yet.
Listen, you definitely are a beautiful woman. At 50 years old, you definitely are proving that black does not crack. So let's do it, honey. Leanne Fitness, also a realtor. Yes. And I can't remember, does he have to be in Dallas? Or
no,
oh, doesn't have to be in Dallas. No young kids. Gemini has a 31-year-old child. Mm-hmm. Never married, and your goal is marriage.
Absolutely.
Goal is marriage. All right, boo. How can the guy reach out to you, honey?
On Instagram, I am Leanne Davis _living. LEIANNDAVIS _living.
And there you have it. All right, boo boo.
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? If we can look it up, it's gonna be just it's gonna be me. It's gonna be pictures all down the page. Me. How much you want to bet? What is it? Leanne Davis. How you spell this shit? Hang on. LEIANN. LE. Did I spell that right? Hold on. _living. Yep, what I tell you. me. Look what I can buy. Look at me. Look what I can buy and look at me. Me. Yeah. Yeah. Called it. Called it.
I will. Thank you.
Bye, sweetheart. Bye.
Thank you.
Hello? I can't hear you, baby. We can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
hello?
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your name, boo?
Mirla.
Mirla is how you pronounce it?
Mirla, yeah.
Mirla. Where you calling me from, baby?
Houston, Texas. H-Town.
Houston, Texas. How old are you?
36.
36. What do you do for a living?
I am a managing partner for a nonprofit consulting education firm.
A management partner?
Managing partner.
Okay, for a nonprofit.
Yes.
Okay, this is another thing I'm always curious about. Like, why do motherfuckers always think saying nonprofit is a flex? Like, if motherfuckers knew what nonprofits really were, like, you wouldn't flex saying the word nonprofit. Like, nonprofit is still for profit. Because when I was in school, we had to cover this shit. And if I'm not mistaken, a nonprofit, you can be declared as a nonprofit as long as it was some specific percentage of money that you had to, like, technically donate, which you would get it back at the end of the year anyway, and that's what classifies you as a nonprofit, right? It's literally like dumb shit, but motherfuckers like to say it because it's like this fake sense of like being a new Jesus Christ or something. If motherfuckers knew what a nonprofit was, they wouldn't walk around bragging. They would never. They wouldn't reach it. Like, here's the thing: when I hear the words nonprofit, I immediately think you're a piece of shit because you're trying to dance around the reality of everything. You grab some more tissues. Oh, there's one right here. When I hear nonprofit, I immediately think piece of shit. But again, my bachelor's degree was in this field, so I have a reason to know at least a little more about it than the average motherfucker walking down the street. So you want to know what? Okay, so on the back end, so how nonprofits usually work, at least in a general form, is I want to say it's like they have to technically give away, like, I think it's like 20% of what they earn or something like that, or 30%. But in reality, they just get that shit back on taxes at the end of the year. Right, and then on top of that, guess what else nonprofits do? They run around begging rich people for money. So they all they learn that they're literally, like, nonprofits are literally professional beggars. That's what they are. They're gonna write up a fucking either 1 page, 10 pages, or know somebody to go sit up in there and beg for money out of them to get more money. Nonprofits are not the flex that you think they are. All right. It's just that it's just in the word nonprofit. That's like an immediate signaling to people to say, hey, like, they don't do it for the money. They do it for good reasons. Like, no, they cheating motherfuckers out of money too, bro. It's just coming back in different ways.
Okay, you have any?
Yeah, MG verdict. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just overhyped tax write-off business. Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, MG verdict. Thanks for tuning in, man. But yeah, exactly. But yeah, it always annoys me when I hear people say, they always try to lead with nonprofit because they know most people don't know that. So, like, but it always annoys me when they say that shit.
No kids. What's your zodiac sign?
Gemini.
Gemini. Okay. Very pretty. She's in Houston, Texas, 36, Gemini. No kids, a management partner. Okay, you scoring very well. Okay, let's get to it. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
Someone who is kind, God-fearing, honest, faithful, outgoing.
What does God-fearing mean to you? I got to start asking that question because we just a lot of people say that on my show, and I just wonder what it means to them.
Someone who leads through God, like, is a good person, like, cares about the well-being of others, not selfless, prays, believes in, like, raising kids through the belief in God, and so spiritual. That's what it means to me.
Okay. What's some deal breakers?
I would say not God-fearing, like anybody who doesn't believe in God. Like,
so do you go to church?
I don't. I do church from home, virtual.
Well, maybe, and this is no judgment, but I would think that you surround yourself with God-fearing men?
God-fearing women. I have a prayer group that I'm a part of every morning. We pray together.
But you need to. Marla? Oh, God. Did you do something? Marla, we can't see you, boo. Did you turn the camera off? Marla, I don't think it's me because I'm still here. Marla, I'm not sure what happened.
What's up,
Call
Elijah?
on the God that you serve, girl. Tell me to get your YouTube screen back together. I'll come back to you when I. Okay, here you are.
That
Hello?
was so weird. I'm here.
Okay. The devil is testing tonight.
Tonight.
Right. Okay, so what I was saying is it's good to have God-fearing women, but you got to get with the God-fearing men.
I do have like a select few of men who are God-fearing, everybody in my circle is very similar. Like when it comes to career, life, journey, growth, for the most part, men and women. Yes.
So the men, are there any single men? And if so, why are those men not an option?
They're not single.
Oh, they're not single.
Oh,
okay, fair enough.
Okay,
All right,
yeah, and okay, because here's the thing, when I first seen her, and I'm not gonna say she's like some fucking like angel or anything like that, but when I first seen her, she reminded me of a friend of mine's cousin. She's a cute white girl like her in America, and I remember when we were 30, I tried to hit on her, and she didn't like completely shut me down, but it just kind of like blew me off kind of thing. Right, but it wasn't like I don't like you, but it was kind of like she had something else better to do type of shit. But but anyway, so when I went back to Texas and I stayed with him, over the years, because she followed me on Instagram, and she found out I started traveling and would start writing me on Instagram and sending me messages on Instagram, and I start like just ignoring her. So when I went back to the U.S., she tried to get him to get me to talk to her by saying some shit like she can't find a good, she's 30, she's like 36 at the time, she couldn't find a good man, all the men are already taken, and had him coming to me like telling me about her problems, right? And I just told the friend of mine, I said, look, like, she's 36. I'm traveling to other countries. Like, I had like especially me, I have no use for this woman who's stuck in Ohio with no with probably some little rinky dink house in the middle of nowhere in her own miserable life with a path of bad decisions. Like, what? Like, no, she's a fucking hindrance on my life. And for any man who has options and abilities in his life at 35, 36 is not gonna go to bumfuck Ohio or some shit like that to sit down to sit down with a woman. He'll hang, if I come back to America, I'll fuck her from once or twice here or there, but I'm not getting ready to end off life in Ohio. After knowing what I know now in the world, I'm not getting ready to go to Podunk, Ohio now anymore to create a life now. I've grown past that. I'm past that shit, right? And this woman reminded me of her as soon as I seen her. Right? At 36, yeah, all the men that she's gonna want, they not gonna want her. She's not even bad looking, but it's just what she is. And she's not used to that yet. It hasn't hit her yet. That the problem is just what she is now. Right? And see, all those men she was dogging out, ignoring, leaving on red and all that when she was pretty much from 18 to 28. See, all those men fucked around and many of those men fucked around and became something and moved on and moved out and done other shit and got, fucking establishments next to their name and all, made their name and, shit like that. And she essentially just played a normal path and learned how to, do her hair slightly different. And that was about it, right? There's nothing else there. There's nothing there to take her serious on, like, sitting down to do anything serious.
Let's keep going. So your deal breaker is not God-fearing. Were there any more?
See, all these requirements she could have got away with when she was 22. And had a line of men line up down the street. But at 36, no. Ain't too many men gonna line up down. I mean, you gonna have some simps and some chumps. Oh, you always gonna have that population. And she knows that. That population, there's always gonna be a chump and a simp that's gonna line up down the street for her no matter what, just because she's a woman, right? But the men who did something and seen life, no, they're not getting ready to, no. Any requirement that comes out of her mouth is like halitosis. It's just green air, just cut. As soon as she talk about what her standards are, it's literally just green. Like, you remember them old cartoon shows where they had that green air coming out that mouth? It's just green air, dude. That's all the fuck it is. That's all it is. As soon as she starts talking, they're talking about standards, about her standards. Look, the only thing that's keeping her in the game on any level, right, is the fact that she managed not to get fat and she looks like she could figure out how to take a bath. But the thing is, she hasn't realized the full extent of that yet. Now, she knows that's what it is, but she hasn't realized the full extent, and that it's not going to get any better with time. It's getting worse with time. It's slowly or quickly, depending on that woman, but it's not going to go up from here. Right? Because when they be 18, 19, 20, it's like, you remember that game on The Price is Right? Where that hiking motherfucker, he be like, and that be a life from like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and they reach the top of that hill. And remember on The Price is Right? If they went too far, the motherfucker just crashed down. That's what most women's life is like. It just comes down. Now, some women can look cute while they're going down, but okay. Once you reach the top of that mountain, there's no invisible steps that's going. You know what I mean? That they can just keep going up and up. No, once they hit the top of that mountain, about 25, 26, some of them hit it at 19. Right? Some of them hit that wall at 19. I've seen that happen, or younger. They hit that wall. When I was growing up, I used to see, they hit that. Some of them, they just hit that wall in their teens. But if they make it out of that, most women don't make it too far past 30. And it's just, that motherfucker just falls down, dude. Does anybody watch them? Anybody remember them old Price is Right games? Let me see if I could find that. What was it was an old Price is Right with Bob Barker. Yeah, it was this dude. I wonder if I get copyrighted. No, it's like it's uploaded by other motherfuckers. So this is the game I was talking about.
This game is to keep that mountain climber from falling off that cliff at the top of the mountain. And if you know enough about the prices of these three prizes, you'll be safe. What are those three prizes, Rich?
All right, Bob, first.
$15, Bob.
It's $20. 10.
Okay, yeah. This is a little motherfucker that used to go up the hill, right? But if they bet too much money, he would go too far, and the motherfucker would fall off.
$37, is that right? It is not, and here he goes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and there he is.
Yeah, he'd go all the way up the mountain. Let me see, does she lose this one? Yeah, so here it is. So at the end, he makes it like all the way up the fucking mountain, right? Oh, let me see if I'm still good. Yeah. So at the end, he'll make it like all the way up the mountain. But if some kind of way, if she bet too much money or something, he would just fall off. So let's see if he falls off.
24, and
oh, she won. She won. It stopped. But yeah. So when they lose, the motherfucker he'll just like fall off. Now, the only difference is that, like, okay, I wish I was better at, I wish I could animate shit, because I would make a whole animation. I got ideas for like different animations I would do, but I don't know how to animate shit. But I would like put like the only difference is like some bitches, like they'll look good when they hit that 25. Well, and it's right at 25 too. That's crazy. You see that? You see that? Right. Oh, let me move so I can point. Oh shit, I'm trying to click. It's right at 25. Them motherfuckers, the price. Don't tell me the Price is Right didn't know what they was doing when they did that shit. The Price is Right knew exactly what they was doing when they made that number 25. Cause you see all them fucking bitches that be showing the fucking hot tubs and shit. Them bitches be, you know what I mean, them Playboy models up there doing it. They ain't getting no 38-year-old bitches up there doing that. Not very often. They get, or if they are, they getting the prime material that you don't find at Walmart. They did that shit on purpose. Let's do Price is Right. Oh, they did that shit on purpose. Price is Right knew what they was doing. They slid that in there, and they thought we didn't notice that. Robert Downey Jr. Yep, you slid that in, and you thought we didn't notice that shit. Let's do Price is Right models. Let's see. See them. Tell me they ain't do that shit on purpose. You can't tell me they didn't do that shit on purpose. And they put 25 right there. You can't tell me that Price is Right didn't do that on purpose. What's up, Jen? Yeah, and look at these bitches that's the Price is Right model showing all this shit. You can't tell me they ain't put that on there on purpose. They did. They put that 25. They put that 25 there on purpose to represent women falling off that fucking mountain, dude. That's my paranoid schizophrenic rant. They did that shit on purpose. You write about some girls peak being in high school. A few cheerleaders graduated with age like peeled bananas. Oh yeah, man. I remember girls, yeah. In their teenage years, they just hit a wall. They just get fat as fuck, or they face just start mutating or something. Like I keep thinking this one girl, her first name was Ashley. I don't want to say her whole name, because she was actually a cool girl. She wasn't rude or anything, but I used to think she was pretty. And I remember when, I had left and gone to college for a while, and I went back to Cincinnati, and she was working as like the fry cook at this bar, and she had just like hit that wall, dude. Like, and she got fat. She looked like a witch. Like, she just had this weird chin now. Like, maybe she always looked like that, and I just didn't know how to see. When you're in high school, you don't know what's in the world yet. Her name was Ashley, and she was light skinned. She was cool though, but she just hit a wall, and that was it. And they used her as the fucking fry cook.
Ambitious. Anybody who's ambitious, like, you have to be ambitious. I'm an ambitious woman, so ambitious, wanting to travel and explore the world.
Okay, they're telling me you were on a TV show, Married at First Sight. Okay, again, shouts to the cousins. Y'all don't understand. I kind of live in my own world. I don't watch so much TV because shit, I got my own show. But they're very familiar with you. They're saying you were married at first sight. So give me the backstory, because I don't know anything about it.
Married at first sight. You meet somebody at first sight. You get married for 2 months. You ask for a divorce. You stay married. Obviously, happily divorced. We were both divorced.
Why the fuck does she respect any deserve? Why we respect it? Why does she deserve any respect? For real.
Put this in the
So
video.
what happened? So you married a man at first sight? And what happened in that marriage?
It was everything we didn't ask for in each other. So like, I asked for like even physical physical things, somebody who was honest, somebody who wanted to travel the world, somebody who lived a similar lifestyle, like a similar or wanted to live a similar lifestyle as me. And those were not the things that,
So, okay, so how did they link y'all in the beginning?
They just, I don't know. I feel like they just gave me everything the opposite of what I asked for. So,
Okay. So, and y'all got divorced 2 months later.
yeah, 2 months. later.
Okay, so, okay, they are familiar. Now, did that play out on television? Did y'all get divorced?
Look, all right. There is absolutely no way I would marry any woman at first sight. I don't know. Okay, like I said, there's always gonna be a chump out there. There's always, for whatever reason, maybe he grew up a chump, or maybe he got, emotionally beaten down by the world to become a chump. I'm not gonna say like he's an evil person, but there's always gonna be a chump out there. But dude, there is no logical way. Like, I would have to be in trouble to do something like that, like real trouble to do something like that. Now, I did get married to stay in the country, but I made it clear up front, like that's what we had to do, because I wanted to stay in the country, right? But to do it, to genuinely try to like become a partner with a motherfucker like that, and you just met this motherfucker at first sight and get married, okay. Men, I can understand why men can be that beaten down to do it, especially the younger they are, because as a younger guy, like you're the equivalent to a child to most women. You just don't have enough time to build up any too much wealth in the world in any form to really be, a protector, right? So I can see why men can just like bite at anything kind of things in earlier years, but women, that's gross, because those are her best years. Right? Those are her best years. And again, women are like cars. From roughly 16 to 30, they're the fucking Ferrari. Right? Nobody's going to reject a Ferrari. Very few people are going to reject a Ferrari. Now, but the problems with Ferraris is that people who can afford Ferraris don't keep them for too long. Or if they do, they lock them up in a garage and go drive something else. Right, people who can afford Ferraris, they gonna hop in it, drive it for about a year, maybe 2 years, and trade in and get another one. Either that, or they're gonna lock it up in the garage and keep it while they going off driving, a Maybach or something like that in another country, and they come back and drive it, after 6 months, right? But either way, the Ferrari gets the Ferrari is desired, right? But on the other side of it, men, when they hit roughly 15 to 30, men are like a fucking rusted out Honda. Nah, I wouldn't even say a rusted out Honda. I say like an old rusted out Buick. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to relationship and shit like that, men are like a rusted out Buick. Right? Like you can't really, because the reason why I wouldn't give it Hondas is because Hondas, you can just replace that shit and blah 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 blah. You fix up. Buicks, there ain't no community to really fix up Buicks like that. You know what I mean? So they can get passed over in that used market, or like an old Lincoln without that air ride in it. Y'all ever rode in an old Lincoln without the air ride? Like I remember a friend of mine, he bought this old Lincoln with the air ride suspension gone. So the car was like sagging. Now, when you look at it from the outside, it didn't look like it was like the suspension was that bad. But if you rode in that motherfucker, like you gonna be bouncing like popcorn kernels in that motherfucker. Like I remember he bought it. I would say men are more like an old Lincoln with the air ride suspension fucked up. Between 16 to 30. He could get lucky and find somebody to ride in it from time to time, but motherfuckers really ain't. They not. A motherfucker ain't going out there looking for an old Lincoln without its air ride in. You know what I mean? They rather just go off and catch the buses. You know what I mean? That's where men are in it. What's up, Anthony?
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You did. Okay. Do you want to get married again?
Yes.
So now, after that experience, are you more aware of what you desire?
Yeah, I'm very solidified in what I want and what I don't want.
Okay. So does the new guy have to look a certain way?
I like, he has to have hair, which my ex-husband did not have hair, and I said I wanted hair. So that was already the one.
So why'd you marry him? Was it for the show if he had all the things opposite of what you required?
Yeah, everybody, like, you go on the show and you have to give it a try. You know what I mean? Like, you made it this
So
far.
you agree, once you sign up for the show, you agreed to marry the person?
That's gross.
At first sight, on the walk down the aisle and you say, yes, I do, and you go on a honeymoon and...
Child, don't get mad
gross.
at my ass, because I change my whole mind.
You just have to take deep breaths and power through.
This is invasive. You don't have to answer, but did you guys have sex?
Yes, consummate the marriage.
Okay, you have to have sex. Okay.
No, you don't have to have sex.
You don't have to.
Yeah, see, this is some other delusion. She even classifies sex after the marriage as consummating it. I don't even use this word, but I know what it means. She even this is severe mental illness. Stay the fuck away from this shit. Okay, stay the fuck. Fuck it. Do what she's used to having done to her. Fuck her and run away. Right? Okay. Who in their right mind would go on the show? Okay, she went on there with serious intentions. She went on a show to be legally obligated to marry some random stranger. Did it. And then in some weird thought process, solidified the marriage by having sex with him. She's chasing some image in her head. She's most women are, but she's really chasing. She's chasing, especially by the time she turns 36. See, she doesn't want to get. What is behind getting? Why get married anyway? What's the big deal about getting married? That's what I was talking to my dad about his friend. Like, what's the big deal about getting married? Like, I don't want to get married anymore ever again. I don't have any intentions on leaving, my son's mother, but I don't have any urge to get married at all. Like, none. I have literally zero urges to ever get married again. There's no reason for it. There's no, I have no reason for it. But women need that, so they feel like they can finally trap a guy so she can, let her guard down and all that shit like that. Like, she feels that. But I don't. But okay. But anyway, back to her. It's like, why? anything you do with this woman is going to be 100% totally about her, which it usually always is anyway. That's just how selfish women are on average. But just don't deal with this shit.
But did y'all?
Yes.
Okay. So did he want a divorce too?
No.
He didn't want to get a divorce. I can see a guy want to say like, nah, he hit the jackpot. You were so pretty, and you have it together.
Thank you.
Okay. But you was like, hell
Yeah,
no.
in the younger years, no.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
It's been
Okay, the only guy who the only type of man who would be dumb enough to do something like that would be a guy who would not want to get a divorce, right? Because he's not getting any bites. Again, it happens to everybody. Don't get me wrong. We all go through cold spells of getting bites. Getting women that's getting attention from the opposite sex. We all go through spells of that. But the only guy who would seriously go do some shit like that would be a guy who would not want to let her go, right? To actually go and legally get married, and you don't even know who this bitch is. You know nothing about her. That is a next level. Now, okay, the show was it the Labor of Love? I mean, that's pathetic too. Don't get me wrong. That show's absolutely pathetic too. But on the back end, they weren't actually trying to get married. They just did it just to work on a relationship. Right. So, I mean, that makes at least a little more sense. That's a little more admirable than to just go marry a woman you just met. No, that's horrible. That's terrible.
60 days yet. It's 45. How many more days I got to stay married to this man?
No, I think you just have to be as a man.
Okay. All right. Well, they knew you, honey. All right. Does the new guy got to make a certain amount of money?
I think a man at least. I mean, I would say maybe 80 would be okay.
Maybe 80.
Yeah.
Where you calling me from? Houston. Does he have to be in Houston?
I don't do long term. I want somebody to be with me, so they want to move or I move. I have flexibility. I work from home and I travel, so.
So he doesn't have to be in Houston, but you guys have to agree to live in the same city at some point if it gets serious. I think that makes a lot of sense because at some point in time, if you want it to be serious, y'all got to be in the same city. All right, let's do the Kendra Cam.
Yeah, I can tell she's skinny from here.
Okay, you're in great shape.
Yeah, somebody take care of themselves because I am very.
Someone takes care of themselves. Now, you don't have any kids. Can the guy have kids?
I have a dog. Yes, I have. I'm a dog mom.
A dog is not a child.
He's not a child.
But he can have kids. The guy can have kids.
I prefer no kids. Yeah, no.
Oh, the guy have no kids. What's the age range you want to date?
I don't know that I have an age range. I think you have to have emotional maturity,
no, just an age range.
Just have done the growth and worked on yourself. You know what it takes to be in a relationship, be committed, be faithful, be honest, and all those things. I don't think that you can put a number on that. So
okay, no, there is a number on that. Okay, her age range is going to be from at 36. Her age range is going to be roughly from 33 to I'd say 42 to 44.
Okay. So was your last relationship? I'm not sure. When did this end? When was your last relationship?
October 2022.
So was that when you guys was it him, your ex-husband?
I got married in 2021, so it's been 2 years since I've been divorced.
I just remembered you. Okay. So 20, and what's your name? I'm gonna have to look it up. Is that your name on the show?
Yes, Mirla.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay, so your last relationship was October of last year. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask, when's the last time you was intimate with someone?
It would be 7 months ago. October, 7 months ago.
7 months ago. Oh, 7 months ago. Okay. And what are 3 flaws you believe you have to work on?
I can be stubborn. I know that.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Okay, you're stubborn.
I don't focus on my date, which is why I wanted the show. I don't dedicate time or energy to dating. I'm somewhat of an introvert, and so it's hard to force yourself to get out there and engage and spend time and get to know guys. It's just the patience in me is not there.
Patience in her is not there. Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I'm just I'm kind, I'm good. I'm more of a traditional catering and serving to your husband. I'm born and raised from South Texas, small.
Catering and serving to your husband. See, and this is what I want anybody to ever pay attention to. Catering. See. She just said, she just looked dead in the fucking camera. And so told you about how she got married, where she had to find a company to force a man to legally sign a binding contract to marry her. So just so she can say she was married. That's why she did the show. And then less than 10 minutes later, she talks about how she wants to cater and serve her husband and all this shit like that. Where is she getting this logic from? See, she's living in her fucking head. The only time she could find a husband was when she found a service to literally trick a man into signing a legally binding contract and having to marry her. Where is she getting this idea that she'd even make a good partner? The fact, I tell you where she's getting it from, because she can say that she left him first. So that's how she can salvage her ego to talk herself into her being a good partner and he was the bad guy. Ignoring the fact that she had to go find a service to find a man to legally sign a legally binding contract to have to marry her. Let's just forget about that part, right? See, you have to pay attention to the dumb shit that bitches will look you dead in the fucking face and tell you. Right? Because and I'll admit, sometimes it could be difficult because they can be pretty. Or just like that woman energy can get you just like not thinking right. But you have to listen to fucking words, dude. Listen to words. She just sat here and told you about the only time she was married. She had to she had to find a company to trick a man into legally having to marry her. But then she says she believes in old-fashioned values, a Southern girl who wants to serve her husband food and silly shit. This woman is fucking nuts. This woman is nuts. She's just saying it in a calm, feminine voice, but she's fucking nuts. And here's the other part. See, most people in the world will let her slide with it because most just wouldn't even pay that much attention. They would just see, nice ass in a fucking leotard. So whatever she says must be right and it must make sense because she has a tight ass and a fucking leotard and long straight hair. Right? Because most men haven't been to brothels where they're filled with bitches like this, and you can read through that shit like from a fucking mile away. Right? Most men don't know what it's like to go into a brothel with women walking around of this quality, and you can just walk up to anyone and fuck them for $50. So see, all that magic wears down, and now you can actually see the woman as another human. Right? You're not seeing her as glorious woman anymore. Right?
Mexican community. I'm a good person. I'm selfless. I'm giving. Even though you all didn't see that on the show, I'm all of it. What did the show give off of you? That I was high maintenance, that I like to shop a lot, which I do, and I work hard, and I like to shop, and that's okay. That I complained a lot, which I did complain about things on the show because I was just not very happy. So yeah, if I'm not happy with somebody, I'm definitely gonna complain about.
Well, there's a reason why you had to go on the show in the first place. Why did you have to go on the show in the first place? You're skinny, you take a bath, and you got long straight hair. Hopefully you don't smell funny or something like that. Why did you ask? These are the questions that need to be asked. Why did she have to go on the show in the first place? Probably because she's all those things.
Oh, they're saying, ooh, someone said you were very mean on the show.
No, I was not mean. Y'all can ask my husband. If he wanted to stay with me, it's for a reason. I was a very good woman to him. So
yeah.
Yeah, what I tell you. And what is it? Yeah. She's using that as the excuse of her being like a good partner and good spouse because she left. See, these are the games that women play, dude. These are the games. Again, there's a reason why this woman is 36 years old. She could not find a man in real life, so she had to go on a television show that tricked men into signing legally binding contracts to have to put up with her shit. Then on top of that, she couldn't keep that working out, so now she's on another YouTube show trying to find a man now. See, there's a reason why she cannot. There's a reason why these consistencies are happening. It's not an accident. There's a reason why she's on here now, and she's diving into the same shit. She's getting stabbed a little bit, and now you see the attitude come out, and now she's getting see all that pleasant up front shit is wearing out. She can't keep the act up for too long. There's a reason why she's 36 and she still has to go on random YouTube shows in desperation to find a man. There's a reason why. Because see, men who know, they can look past her just being a skinny, healthy woman, which is a rarity in North America, by the way. But for men who know, they can look past that and say, yeah, now that's not worth it. You couldn't pay a man to sit up with her, which... That's why she's on here. And that's why the only man that she could keep around was a man who got paid to put up with her shit. The television show. You have to pay a man to stay around her. Now, you won't have to pay a man to fuck her on a random Tuesday night off Tinder. You know, now a man would have to pay her to fuck her at a brothel. He'll pay for that. But to stay around that? No, she has to pay the man to stay around. The only time a man, historically, based off of her past and the vibes that I'm getting from her, historically, the only time a man stayed around after sex was if he was being paid to do so, or he was a complete chump and just couldn't do any better in any kind of way, even if he had to just sit up alone.
No, what I love about tonight, because we had Josh before you, now we have you here.
And I don't mean to be mean. Here's the thing. I don't mean to be mean towards her. The purpose of my channel and the purpose of me being on here is to explain things thoroughly to men. Because if you let women go in society, they will word everything like it's entirely your fault and she did absolutely nothing wrong. And then will shame you if you try to deduce any logic out of it because she knows she's wrong. So here's, again, my channel is not built to be me. Okay, I don't like that fucking Amber Heard bitch. Like, that's one bitch, like, I wouldn't be mad if somebody knocked her fucking teeth out. And I said that from the very beginning with Amber Heard. I never liked that bitch. But but for the other 99% of bitches, like, I don't mean, my purpose is not to be me. My channel is to show men, like, no, women are pieces of shit. On average, generally speaking, they're going to be a piece of shit with shitty motives in life, and some men and men will be too. But women are not these perfect angels. All right, and a lot of these issues are not your fault. It's woman's nature. Because okay, this woman right now, just by how if this woman literally just closes her eyes and just types in bars near me on Google and just clicks one and then clicks the directions to that bar, right? And she goes to that bar and just walks in there and just stands in the corner. A man is going to come approach her, right? Anywhere she goes, just because she just looks like that, right? So with that, okay. So let's put it into perspective. Let's say you're looking for a job, right? Now there's some people who they have a similar scenario, right? They just put their resume on LinkedIn or whatever the fuck, and they'll get hits, right? Because they fit that cycle of attraction, right? So, but for some reason, let's say if LaRue, y'all remember LaRue Pierce, that motherfucker who tried to get me to lie on myself to say I sexually assaulted some woman when they actually found cameras that proved that I didn't, but he still tried to do it. You remember that fucking dude LaRue Pierce, right? Let's say LaRue Pierce goes on LinkedIn and he puts his resume CV together to where he always gets hits. Everybody knows he gets hits. He's followed by hundreds of thousands of people, like bitches on Instagram. He's followed by the thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. You know, it's known that LaRue Pierce is wanted in the workforce, right? But over the course of the last 20 years, LaRue Pierce is literally only staying at a job for 1 month at a time, 2 months here, maybe 3 months here at max, then another month here, a month here. What's going to be your first thought on LaRue Pierce? It's that, oh, LaRue Pierce is a piece of shit, or he's a piece of shit, or he's not doing something right. It's not them jobs. It's LaRue. I mean, like, it would be so easy to see it in that scenario. But again, with a woman, it's easy to get caught up in woman energy, woman charisma of just being, woman, to not see it and to talk yourself into being something else because she must be the innocent angel who is a victim to all this in life, and the problem can't be her. This woman is 36. The problem's her.
And I love that because men describe women like you. Literally, I get requests, Kendra, we want women with no kids. Like, a lot of men ask me to find women with no kids. And you're very well put together. You're in shape. You're going to be high maintenance. Like, I think people don't understand what comes with what they ask, right? Like, this type of woman, it's probably going to be high maintenance. Like, that's what it takes to probably show up in a pair and keep it together, all those things.
But we're not asking, I'm not asking anybody to maintain this. So if I'm maintaining this and I've been maintaining this, like,
alone.
Well, yes. Here's what I learned with that, right?
Alone.
You're not asking anybody to maintain it, but a guy has to be able to at least be secure enough, because you're probably a woman that men will hit on. I'm not sure how you move, but he has to be able to afford to move around with you, right? Like, this is about you, but I'll share a little bit. I don't like talking about my shit, but what I will say, I don't personally don't have a money requirement, but it just takes money to just do the things that I do, right? So, like, y'all see, I'll be around this world, and ain't nothing cheap, so it's like.
Wrong. Been around this world. I'm living in Prague. Wrong. Don't listen to women. You should be able to call the police just on this. And I still stand by that. You should be able to call the police when women are giving other women advice. You should be able to call the police, and there should be a mandatory 10-day jail sentence and a $500 fine every time you catch women giving other women advice in any form. It should be. I think it should be. It should be illegal. You should be able to see, if you see bitches talking together on the side, you be like, "Yo, I think they giving advice." Oh, fuck. Yep, two bitches giving each other advice on the street. Yeah, we down by Prague Castle. Okay, cool. You gonna send 2 units out? Okay, cool. And then just boop, and it's done. And they come down and they put them in handcuffs and they put them in the car and just take them, the 2 prisons, 2 jails away from each other. Because they give awful advice. Terrible advice.
So a guy has to, without you even saying it, a guy has to know himself, can I keep up with that? Can I afford that? Like, period. Right? So without you saying it or not, a guy comes in knowing that this is how, and if a guy feels like he can't keep up with it, he might not shoot his shot. Now, this also might mean he might have good qualities. Like, this doesn't mean you're a bad person if you can't afford it, right? He might be a solid dude. But if he's a solid dude but can't afford to maintain you, he might not try to reach out to you. Yeah. So that's that. But let's go back to you. Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I think all the things, I'm very caring, very giving, serving, affectionate, attentive. I like to cook for my man and take care of my man in all like those intimate ways. And so
you're not saying a name,
they would be lucky to have.
Thanks for the $5.
Hold on real quick. Someone said, Kendra, let that girl talk. That girl is talking. And guess what else it is? Kendra gonna talk too, because guess what the fuck it is, Kendra show? And when Kendra feel like talking, Kendra going to talk. You know what you can do though? You click off if you don't like those moments. Because one thing we ain't gonna do is tell Kendra how to host Kendra's show. Get your own shit and you run it the way you want to. Back to you, sweetheart. All right. Did you tell me your 3 flaws? You did tell me. All right. And what's the age range you would do?
Dating range?
Yes, your age range.
I don't think that.
We did that. We did that. All right. Let's do it. How can a guy reach out to you?
My Instagram would be easiest thing.
Your Instagram would be the easiest thing. All right. And what's your IG?
My first name dot last name. Can everybody see my? I mean, I think people can see my name.
We can see. Well, this is what we see. MYRLA.
Dot.
So dot and then your last name.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just test it out while you here to see if it works. MYR. Excuse me. And then Farah. How you spell it?
Feria. FERIA.
Oh, Feria. Oh, you verified and everything. All right, this is you.
Yes.
Okay, 76.
Again, that's worse. Okay, look.
Verified and everything. All right, this is you.
You see that? So she has 76,000 followers on Instagram. And we're gonna do this like the LinkedIn, my LinkedIn scenario with LaRue Pierce trying to get a job. She has roughly, let's just say 80,000 followers on Instagram, right? And we're gonna do the math on exactly how pathetic this is.
Okay, yes. 76,000 followers. Listen, I assume a lot of men reach out to you. You don't like the men that reach out to you?
No, I have 95%.
They don't.
95% of my followers are women. I have all women followers, which I love my women. Oh. I love to inspire my women. I love to talk about health and wellness and travel and all the girl things. But all my followers are women.
But I think just in life, you don't get hit on by men? No.
I also don't go out a lot. And very few times that I go out to brunch with the girls. I mean, we go to places where there's not a lot of men or single men, you know, so.
I'm going to have to watch the show and see. I want to see some clippings because I hate to keep saying this because a lot of people are just saying you were so mean. So I got to watch. I want to see for my own self.
Go watch it,
Did you hear that? Did you hear that from being on the show?
Yes. So.
Oh, you did? Okay, you did.
I think they just saw that he constantly talked about money. And he made it seem like I spend too much money. He had no savings. I'm very secure in my finances. Somebody has to be financially literate. And so it was always problems about money. So they made it seem like, oh, merely all you care about is money. You just care about shoes. You care about traveling. Like everything isn't about money. I'm like, it's not. Definitely not. But I do deserve to splurge on the things that I work hard for. And if I can afford it and I save and I invest and all those things, then what's the problem? Like, I'm not asking you for money. But he had a problem.
Okay. I'm gonna go check it out, girl. I want to see. I want to make my own conclusion. I do know that TV is TV though, and I know they're gonna always show the uglier moments and the good moments. So I know how television works. It's the reason why I've never agreed to do reality TV unless I can control everything that goes out. I ain't doing it. But one thing I was gonna say, I forgot. All right, but we're gonna go. What's your nationality, your ethnicity, if you don't mind me asking?
And first generation.
Mexican first generation. Okay, got you. Thank you, but well, keep me posted how it goes, babe.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, right? I'm gonna give her all the benefit out of the doubts, right? Let's say the TV show did her dirty, right? Let's say the dude was just weird, right? Let's say the dude was like super insecure about money, whatever the fuck, right? Let's just go ahead and just agree with her, right? Okay, step one, her being single at 36 is the major red flag by itself for many men on earth. Right? Just a woman, just any woman being 36 years old and single and like desperately single like that in and of itself is the major red flag right off the bat. Right. I'm talking like desperately single type of shit, like where she has to go on TV shows. Okay. There is not very many good reasons, if any reason I could think of, why a woman would go on a reality show to meet a man. There's not there is no good reason for that. at all. Is okay. How reality shows are built and what they're trying to sell and all that shit like that. There's no. By the time a woman has sunk so low to where she has to do that, that is the red flag of the woman. That is the immediate red flag, right? But again, let's say the guy was weird. Let's agree with her 1,000%. She's not mean. She's very nice. She's so great. All this. But she still can't find a man. She still can't keep a man. She's 36, and she's had to resort to going on YouTube to find a man because she's pretty much aged out of all the reality shows in her area, right? They won't even deal with her shit anymore because she's too old now, unless they find some labor of love shit where they find some 40, 45-year-old nonsense of a demographic to give, middle-aged bitches hope at finding a man, right? To put it in perspective, again, let's use LaRue Pierce, right? Because this woman, she had, like 80,000 followers? Where's it at? Let me see if I can find it. She's drinking something right there. Where was it at? She's taking some. Can I find it? Nah, probably not. But anyway, so she had like 80,000 followers on Instagram. So again, here it is. Let's put it in the context.
Verified and everything.
It's not the best. Hang on. Let's put it in the context of LaRue Pierce. It's still a little blurry. Anyway, fuck it. But you guys can see it. So let's put this in the context of LaRue Pierce, right? Going on LinkedIn to find a job, right? Is the equivalent of her going out there to go find a man, right? So LaRue Pierce is great, and it was always somebody else's problem. And LaRue Pierce's profile on LinkedIn has 76,700 followers. So it must be reputable on some level, some sense, right? Or unless they're all bots that's following her, that she's probably paid some company to make for it. But let's just say it's all real shit. Yo, thanks for the $5 again, man. I see it. I can't see the name of it, but I see it. Thanks a lot, man. So let's say LaRue Pierce goes out to find jobs. He goes on and he goes on LinkedIn to find jobs, and jobs show some level of interest up front, because and to translate it, the woman, she's attractive. So some men anywhere are going to show interest on some level because she's just physically healthy and in shape. That's all she has to have, right? So men are going to show her interest. So let's say in LaRue Pierce's scenario, people are showing jobs are showing LaRue Pierce interest. And he's going out to go try to work at a job. Well, over the course, she's 36, so over the course of 20 years, LaRue Pierce still cannot keep a consistent job. But he's got 80,000 followers on LinkedIn, and he's appealing for whatever reason. Maybe he wears nice suits, he's got nice cars and all this shit like that, right? That would be the equivalent of a woman having nice tits and a nice ass. And he's going out there to find jobs, but he cannot keep a job, right? And they ask him about it, and it's always the job's fault. It's always something the job did. So he goes out into a job, and he's too high maintenance for the job, right? They're not going to pay him enough and all this, right? So after 20 years of LaRue Pierce going out there looking for jobs, he was too high maintenance. The jobs didn't pay him what he wanted. He wasn't comfortable there because he thinks the job was insecure of him and all that shit like that. After 20 years, to the point where LaRue Pierce now has to go on YouTube to find a job, to run around begging for a job. And he meets with Kendra G as well, how come the job's not one job? And he goes, well, they be tripping. They don't be paying me enough. Yo, the first thing everybody gonna say is, look, bro, you need to change your fucking attitude. Something's not right. You would immediately blame the man for that. Right? Society would immediately blame him. Fuck his mental health and all that shit like that. Men don't get that benefit. He would get fucking... Look, if they did the equivalent of men with this shit, men would just get laughed at. Like all over. it would be a comedy show, how society would see it. But women, they get that benefit. You know, women, because she can always rely on just being a woman, and society will feel sorry for her for that. Because it must be the men's fault. It must be everybody else's fault. It's not hers. Right? But if LaRue Pierce had done it, going off getting a job, it wouldn't take long to figure out. Oh, like, you must be tripping. But here's the deeper part. See, at some point, LaRue would finally go, yeah, man, like, I just don't got it. Something just ain't right. I'm fucking up, right? At some point, most men will finally go, yeah, like, I just don't, like, I'm just not that type of dude. I just, like, because I know, personally, I'm not the type of dude to work 40 hours a week. I knew it from a young age. Right? I used to want to, and it was my dream for a little while because I just wanted to be like other people, because that's all I knew growing up in Ohio was to go work 40 hours a week. That's all I knew. I didn't know there was any other type of world where, you know, with any other type of options. And then I grew up without internet for the first part of my life. So, like, I didn't know there's other ways to do anything. If you had told me motherfuckers could get paid playing video games, that was something only special people in California did in some area, you know what I mean, coming from Ohio. I didn't know that was even a possible thing. Something like Twitch was unheard of back when I was, you know, a kid. But at some point, LaRue would be like, damn, like, I'm fucking up. Oh, yeah, I remember where I was going. Yeah, so I just lost my train of thought again. Fuck. Oh, yeah, like, personally, I know I'm not cut out for 40 hours a week. So I know, I'll just tell you, look, like, I'm just not cut out for that. Like, I'm going to suck because I'm not going to fit in with them. I'm not going to fit in with the people there because I'm used to doing whatever I want when I want to do it. I'm going to walk. I walk with my own speed, you know, because I'm not used to that environment anymore. I've been out of it for 20 years, working full time. I say roughly 15 years. I've been out of it for 15 years, working, you know, anything. I haven't worked a full-time job since I was about like a legitimate full-time job. I haven't worked a full-time job since I was 20, maybe 2021. It's about 16, 17 years. I haven't worked a full-time job. Now, I've done full-time hours where I was tutoring or like teaching or something like that. But I don't count that as a full-time job because, like, you do get, like, I don't know. Maybe I don't count that as a full-time job because I actually like doing it. But, like, I haven't done, like, what most of society is going to do. They're going to have to work a full-time job that they just hate type of shit. I haven't done that in 15, 16 years. So I just don't even fit in with that whole, like, trying to look good for the boss, you know, shit like that. I just don't fit in with that. I'm not going to make, like, there's a great chance I'm not going to make that cut. I'm going to, and if a scenario happened where I were to go work a job, like, I know, like I'm going to walk in, I'm going to know that's going to be what the problem's going to be. I'm not going to run away or hide from it, right? At some point, any decent man would have to sit down and start questioning himself, right? And I think that's kind of signaling, like, more weakness to the world, because when you get on, like, you know, like these fucking, like, chat sites and shit like that, it's just filled with men, like, doubting themselves, right? But it's seen as insecure, but in reality, it's men just trying to understand themselves, right? But it gets signaled as weakness. But there's some men, they start to believe they're on weak. They start to believe what other people tell them, and they turn weak off of it. But yeah, no, with women, no. It don't work that way. It's everybody else's fault. It's not her. The fact that she can't keep no job in 20 years while she has 80,000 followers, people who, so out of them 80,000 followers, none of them know no men. None of those 80,000 followers know any men. None of her friends and family know any men. None of the people that she works with, she gets coffee from, where she fills her gas tank up. She's never met any man anywhere in her regular life that would give her a chance. See, there's a reason why she's 36 and she has to run to YouTube for help in finding a man. Because if she's living such a great life, she's living in a good neighborhood, right? Let's break it down deeper. If she's living such as this great life, she's financially literate, she's high maintenance with money. Okay, if she's living this lifestyle, that tells me that she's living in a good neighborhood, right? So if she's living in a good neighborhood, she's surrounded by men who make around that same amount of money or higher, right? So tell me, why is none of those men interested in her? Right? And on top of that, she works. Some kind of way she's worked where she's talking with other people. So when she's speaking to other people, why? Okay, and they're on the league that she's on with spending money. Why do none of those people know anybody that's interested in her? Right? We haven't even dove into her friends, her family friends, out of her mother, her father, her aunt, her uncle, her brother, her sister, her niece, her nephews, all these motherfuckers, all these connections, the second cousins, third cousins, second aunts, third aunts, and the aunts of aunts and brothers and sisters. And none of these people, none of them know a man that is willing to put up with her shit. She is so fucking desperate that she had to get a TV show to trick a man into marrying her. That didn't work out. So now she has to run to YouTube to find a man. Think about how pathetic you have to look past, getting a decent piece of ass from tight pants and a leotard, and think about how disgusting she must really be and how long she's lived like this. Right? Think about that, how disgusting this is. She literally just hold on. Where we at? What she do? What she called the Kendrick Ham or some shit like that, where she stood up? I'm gonna be able to find it. Let's see. Can I find it? Probably not. But where she stood up, I can't find it. But you guys remember. With her just looking like that. It's gross. That is how disgusting she is as a human to have to deal with in real life. That is how disgusting she is. That's how repulsive she is to have to actually sit down and exist with. That tells you how exactly repulsive she is. So one more time to run it down, I'm gonna get out of here. What's up, Zuki? One more time to run it down, I'm gonna get out of here. She earns so much money. She has so much money. She's financially literate for whatever reason, and she's high maintenance, and she's using that as a flex, right? Again, so if she has so much money and she's so high maintenance, she must live in a good neighborhood, right? So in that neighborhood, she's not the only person living in that neighborhood. There's other people. Right? There's other people. And out of all those people, and she living in North America, with her looking like that, they all know who she is. with her ass looking like that and a leotard, everybody knows who that bitch is. Right? And none of them fuck with her. They all do, okay. Either they all fuck with her on some horror level, or okay, none of them are fucking with her on the sense of actually existing with her outside of sex. We can say that's a safe bet because she's on this show. So in her own neighborhood, they all know not to fuck with that, right? So that could okay, and she's so bad in her neighborhood that it's not just the people in that neighborhood. They've told their friends and family, don't fuck with that. Because they gonna get relatives from out of town, motherfuckers coming in from other cities, and they all have communicated, leave that alone, because that's fucked up. Right? Her cousins, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, nephews, nieces, because she's 36, nephews, all these motherfuckers, second cousins, second aunts, all these motherfuckers they all know who she is, because again, how she looks. And they all know to don't refer her to none of their friends, because she's fucked up. She goes to Starbucks. There's you think when she goes to Starbucks or goes grocery shopping, you think motherfuckers don't see her when she's shopping in Kroger's or Publix or wherever the fuck she's shopping at, Piggly Wiggly, whatever the fuck. And none of them fuck with her. When she pumps gas, another car pulls up, they see her. They don't fuck with her. If she go to the mall to pay her phone bill, the motherfuckers walk around the mall, don't fuck with her. Because again, she's living in a nice neighborhood. So there's other people in that neighborhood that makes her money and more. They don't fuck with her. And it's been like this for 20 goddamn years. She can't keep no man. Right? Looking like that. And she still can't keep no man. See how pathetic, how repulsive she must be in reality. Right? Oh yeah, Javi, I seen that. Yeah, the woman she screamed or something like that, and they put her in jail. Her uncle, don't fuck with that. Yeah. But see, yeah, you see, because woman, all she gotta do is just sit. All she has to do to at least be appealing for 5 seconds is just sit there and smile, and just be agreeable, right? And that'll at least get her in the door for 5 minutes, right? She can get dick. That's no question. I'm not down that ability at all. That's the easiest thing for her to get on earth is dick. She'd have a harder time finding drinkable water in Walmart than she will finding dick. Yeah, leave that alone. Don't touch it. But I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna let y'all go. It's going on 9:30. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for donating. And I'm glad that the stream actually worked out. So it looks like I'm gonna use just a regular OBS from now on and not Streamlabs. I'm out, man. I'll catch y'all later. Peace out. I'm gonna leave y'all out with an oldie but a goodie. I'm out.